Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, Paranormal Portal Podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out together.
Well, guys, there we go. Here I am. That was wild because I'm over here. So what I did, hello, welcome in. I was sharing the other show on the YouTube. I tried that out where you can stream for them to share it on our channel. And I was waiting for it to stop and I forgot to click it out, but it worked out fine. We're just a little late and I'm sorry. But here I am. So hello and welcome. Hello, darling. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, darling. How you doing? This is Scott, isn't it, Scott? It's got the same energy. Isn't that odd that you can feel that? But hey, Froze. How you doing? How you doing? Ted, good to see you. Thanks for holding down the fort over here. Appreciate it. I think I saw Lindsay in here. Vixen, hi, babe. How you doing? Good. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Christmas. You know, I just think it's a wonderful time of the year, even though there's a lot of crazy crap going on. Here's Lindsay. Hey, honey. And let's see what else we got. So, welcome in everybody that came in from the other channel. The wonderful Jane and Gerald's wonderful, wonderful people. I love talking to them over there. And I wanted to get that last story in to give anybody. Hey, John, welcome. Henry, I see you. Got to see you in your wonderful fireplace the other day over on Lee. It was good to see you. If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'll try to catch you two out. So it's been a little crazy week, floral designing, and it was very nice to see how many people were still getting the traditional centerpiece for the table, at Christmas time and stuff like that. So I made about 1,000 of those. And the poinsettias and everything else. It's just nice that people are, even in the times being as tight as they are, they're still, doing those traditional things, if they can. And I think that's great. I didn't expect it to be that busy, but I'm very happy for my boss that it has been. Not too happy for my hands. I'll probably go in tomorrow for a little bit and give them some, even though I got a show tomorrow and some other stuff and work I got to do. But it's just one of those things where you're so busy. It's like Valentine's Day and Christmas and Mother's Day. I think it's the biggest for us. So seeing all that and, the people coming in, of course, a lot of people are very concerned with the drone thing and everybody's got their own theory and, everybody seems to be, their spirits are up, which is good, a lot better than last year as far as that. Hey, RP. And I'm really glad to see that. But I wanted to make sure that I told those stories over on Midwest because, piercing the veil, that the main thing is just to let everybody know that love does continue on, that we are responsible here, we're held accountable for the things we do. So the more love you put out, the more love you're going to get back, you get over there. And it has such a power to it. I mean, if you're there and you heard the stories of the pink mist over the wheat field in Gettysburg, that was amazing to me. These are complete strangers, don't know me from any, can be in any kind of mindset, place. You don't know what kind of place that a ghost that's been through that, the battles and everything else for 150 years, Can you imagine seeing all the different changes, or do they even see it? Some do, some don't. And to have that kind of reaction, if they were all together, just that love and that kind of it eased their mind. it was really, really, really powerful. And of course, the picture of what I, without a doubt in my mind, that was my, I mean, I got it just like that. Always go with my first instinct, my first, that sensor. What did you think it was? Because after that, you start talking yourself out of that sign. And I don't like to do that. We all do that. But so, let's see what else everybody's saying. Yep. So, thank you guys for waiting. I'm sorry I'm late. Tonight, I could not decide what I wanted to do today. What I really, really wanted to do was these stupid drones and these orbs, because I've really been studying a lot, researching as much as I can to try to get you guys some information to ease your mind about that. And right now, I don't know that I can do that. Because not that, I don't want to say that wrong. I don't want you to worry. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you one thing. There's a lot of crazy people out there trying to talk to these orbs because they think they're undulating and they're communicating with them and all this other stuff. Stay away from this mess, okay? Until we figure out whether or not there's any kind of radiation or electromagnetic stuff coming off, please. And don't be those people in Independence Day where you get on the top of the roof of the signs and you're like, beam me up, Scotty, and then the next thing you know, please. Okay, so the reason I'm not going to do a show on that tonight, well, there's two. One, it's going to be a full show, and I want to give you all of the theories that I've filtered down to, because last week was, it's crazy. I'm still is us, okay? But what does us mean? So what I mean by us is humans, okay, at this point. That's what I'm believing. But I believe that it's two factions. There's multi-level stuff going on here, and it really needs to be sorted before you start throwing out misinformation. And I do not want to do that to you guys, because I can listen to Stephen Lear and then listen to John D'Souza, and I can pretty much take those two theories and lay them on top of each other, but then they start to branch out and change a little. And I'm trying to see where the changes are. Are they just saying it different, or they're completely, okay? And then you take another one, you lay it on top, and another one, another one, another one. The only thing I'm 100% sure of is the powers that be aren't telling you the truth, okay? We know that. But when I listen to somebody from that I've known for decades that is more in the line of, say, theology, and more, say, a demonologist or an exorcist, that are saying because of some of the things that these orbs are doing, that it could be angels coming through, I want to tap the brakes on that, because I wouldn't tell you that. So a bunch of people runs out and thinks, and then the next thing you know, okay, it's really not Cousin Bobby in the screen mask coming at you trying to pull a practical joke. It's really a psychopath in a screen mask, and they're not joking. So I want to say that. Please just stay away from it. Don't chase them. Don't shoot them. Don't do whatever. And don't go out there on your back porch and have a cup of coffee with an orb and start talking to it because it's blinking like a flashlight, on a paranormal investigation. Please consider not doing that, because from what I'm understanding, all of it, so you've got some orbs and you've got some drones. I think this is corporate. I think it's rogue military. I think it's corporate. I think it's rogue military. And I think that this is exactly what Warner von Braun, if you know the story I'm talking about, was saying. Here's the kicker. Good guys knew it was coming too. So, I'm getting definitely good feedback on the fact that there's some really good groups doing the heavy lifting on this for us. So let them do it. Stay out of the way and keep your eyes out. I don't want anybody scared. I don't want anybody feared. No fear, because we don't want to feed the loosh to the bad guys. Okay? Laugh, joke, have a good time, live, celebrate with your family, dance barefoot in the kitchen, eat the good cookies, play with the dog and the kids, and do fun stuff, because that's what pushes that away big time. Okay? So just remember that and keep it going, because that's hard to do in hard times. But think about it. When you have, in any era, in any uniform, people that are combat soldiers fighting, there's always this like levity, like they laugh and they joke, and everybody thinks it's so jaded and harsh, and how could they be that way? Well, here's the thing, it gets them through it, because if they don't do that, they would buckle and come apart. So that laughter, that joking, that trying to keep it on the surface level and don't let it get in too deep kind of thing, there's a reason for that. So they are now not just over New Jersey, they are over all around. So what's going on? Like I said, multiple things. We're hearing multiple things. So if you're hearing that many stories come out, it's almost like they took the JFK conspiracy and just said, hold my beer. Because you're so much disinformation. I'm seeing congressmen coming out, saying wild stuff, it's this, and this. And because of all this information, you don't know what part is fact and what's misinformation or misdirection for a reason. That's what makes some of these so hard. So for now, let's be cautiously optimistic. Stay out of the way. Don't shoot them down. Don't go go buy a net gun for Christmas and start shooting these things, because here's the deal. I think they're reverse engineered technology that's been happening for decades. This is where I'm sitting right now. I think some very rich corporate, I use that loosely, but you get the idea, shadow people were doing this. But some of it is so good, since before Roswell, that you could you probably couldn't even tell the difference between some of the tech that they have and the actual thing, which would be extraterrestrial. Okay, so I'm going to try to compile all this research and these different theories and present them to you as they change, it probably next week or somewhere in the middle of the week after Christmas. Try to put it together and we'll talk about it. Okay? And I'm going to lay it all out on the table so you guys can pick what you think, and then we're going to talk about it and we'll sort it. And by then, the way that the news and everything is changing like crazy now with the holiday and everything, there'll probably be 50 more theories by the time this show comes apart. But look, there's people that I follow that know a lot about this and I'm talking to and speaking to. It's just that it's so new. I don't want to, like I said in the beginning, talk to somebody that I've known for decades that right now are thinking, well, maybe it's this and maybe it's that. And I love the theories and I love the guessing, because that's really all we're doing right now, because nobody really knows except the people that are doing it, the people that are working with it or working against it. So that's why you're cautiously optimistic and stay the hell away from them. Okay? Now they're saying, see something, say something. You do you. But please don't sit on the porch and talk to these orcs, because, I think there's a lot more going on than just one thing. And there are a mixture of things up there. And a lot of people are interpreting planes and things like that. Look, it's absolute garbage that they're telling you. They're not drones. Some of them have pilots in. Well, that's a plane. So sort through the bullshit, okay, and go at it the same way you go at the paranormal, okay? Don't let anybody tell you all ghosts do one thing or all ghosts can't do this. That's BS. ghosts are just as individual as we are. There's some rules, of course, and there's some lines, and there's some, but different. Okay. That's what I wanted to say so far. So I don't want anybody worried about all this, because it seems that, all right, here's one story. I saw one story, and I don't have it pulled up here, but I will when we do the show. The woman that was out there talking to an orb, and the orb is reacting and blinking, almost like a paranormal investigation with a flashlight. It's kind of undulating when it's speaking, and she's saying all these really positive, good things to it. And because it's doing that, she's thinking it's responding in a good way to what she's saying. However, the people that I'm talking to are telling me that plasma, not plasmoids, plasma ball, these plasma orbs, would do that to whatever. Like, she could say something bad and it would do it too. It's just reacting to the energy that you're putting out. That's worrisome. Do I think that that's an alien? No, I don't. I think it's going to sound loony, but I really think that that's reverse engineered technology too. Because the stuff that they have will blow your mind. The stuff that they have, the real guys, blow your mind. And the stuff that we have, oh, you have no idea. Okay? And for decades ago, I can't imagine what it is now. So don't let your mind tell you that what you're looking at could possibly be man-made. And I definitely, and at this point in time, this moment in time, and again, I'm nobody, but at this point in time, I think that's exactly what it is. So, why? Well, ask Warner Bob. He said that the last card, when bad people were up against the wall and they had nothing else to play, they were going to play the false alien invasion. Let's get it straight. The only thing that's false is what you think, because it's them. It's the bad guys. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't other extraterrestrials or any other entity involved. I'm not saying it. I'm saying that what you're seeing, if it's got a red and green nav light on it, okay, the stuff you're not seeing. Okay? So let's just keep it there. Till we know, stay away from them. Don't have conversations with them off the back porch and go, oh, it must be an angel because it responded to good things that I said. And, when I prayed, it did this and it did that. Okay, what is it doing while you're doing that? Do you know? Do you know if you're too close to something that might affect you later on down the week? Kind of like a flying freaking Ouija board. If it's not, if being in contact with this would not make you sick for a couple of weeks, being that close to something, then how do you know in the moment? I'm not saying it will. I'm saying you don't know. So act accordingly, and please be careful. Let's not go chasing these things and everything else. Now I'm hearing all kinds of other stuff too, where this state said you could shoot this, you could shoot that. Well, does it make sense to you? They're saying some of these things are as big as an SUV. If that comes down, where's it going to land? Where's it going to hit? So let's use common sense. And I'm mad as a wet hen that, people everything I said in the last two shows, I'm still there. I don't know how you feel, but I'm still there. Yeah, cops are back. We've got them here too, hon. Our Tom's Overcop, remember I showed you the video? They showed up drones, but anytime you get anything close to them, it cuts out the battery. It's cutting out the battery, cuts out the battery's car. Yes, reverse technology. Now, how much reverse engineering? I'm going to leave that to the experts. I'm going to bring a couple of clips on here and the stuff that I gather, and we'll have a good show about it. But I just wanted to put that word of caution out there. Don't offer it a Christmas cookie. It's not Santa Claus. Please don't let it come down your chimney. And don't offer it your spare room. Okay? Just stay back, stay away until more of this unfolds and we see a little bit more of what we're dealing with. Hey, honey, I had a great time over there, Jane. Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so sorry that it went so fast. I had no idea that was an hour. That was crazy. But thank you so much for having me on. So, what are we doing tonight? What's everybody doing Christmas? Are you doing cookies? Are you celebrating? Are you doing something else? What's that one crazy holiday we had? We had the Kwanzaa. Just making up stuff. These people are just making up stuff. It's absolutely insane. If you knew that the people that came up with that, oh gosh, you do some research on that one to blow your mind. But we are celebrating Christmas. Looking forward to it. The tree up, got the babies. The babies are going to get spoiled again, rotten little boys. And I'm just so glad that the people that are here are still here. I miss the people that aren't. Today was actually my sister's, my second in line, so she was second youngest. I think she was 14, 15 when I was born. And she's been passed a very long time. It was her birthday today, so happy birthday, Ronaldie. I love you. And I know you hear it. Love it, girl. So, it's that way for everybody. There's people that we miss, and then there's people that are here. I'm going through that myself, where a lot of us have made our, real small, because people just kind of went nuts there for a while, and we're just like, man, avoid that like the plague. And, we've tightened up our tribe a little bit, So I know it feels kind of crappy sometimes around the holidays, but I'm telling you right now, it is what you make it, I always believe in the spirit of Christmas. You're the spirit of Christmas. I joke with people too. It's like, I've always believed in Santa Claus. I've always believed in Santa Claus. I believe in the magic of it. I love the magic. I love anytime you can bring that kind of wonder to a child. And, arguments back and forth. It's like, you want to lie to a kid? But listen, yeah. You're talking to a woman who put glitter in different colors under my kid's pillow, put the glitter on the money the night before, that glitter gel, so the money, like the dollar bills and the quarters and everything, would have like glitter stuck to them. And I would put like little footprints going under the pillow, or maybe a kiss on their cheek with the little glitter while they were asleep and they lost a tooth for the tooth fairy to come in. And for a short time there, it was all about, wow, what color fairy did you get? Wow, this is amazing, that kind of thing. Don't talk about it at school. But, anytime you can keep that magic going a little longer, and I think that you can carry it into your adulthood too, because, you might be, Santa Claus, you might be the one bringing the magic for the Christmas, but that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So do the fun stuff, knock on your neighbor's door and leave them something, and, or just whatever. Do all the little things, because you are the spirit of Christmas. And Christmas is love. And bacon is love. And I love you. So, there you go. Spirit of Christmas. So, as we know, ghost stories were often told. We talked about this last week with Christmas Carol, which I love dearly. And they would tell ghost stories at night. Well, why? Well, here's the thing. You're sitting around the fireplace, the lights are long, everybody's gathered, you've got whatever, you're the end of your day. And these kept kids quiet. You get scared, and, if you had a good storyteller, you'd always have the pah, the end of it, they were just scream and yell, the kids would be scared and the parents would laugh, and it was just fun. But the parents were very into it too, the adults. And we know that, the big burst of spiritualism and all that after the wars, of course, because people miss their loved ones, and any connection in that they're going to be interested in. This whole reason why we're here tonight, right? And everybody, if you've been in this channel for a while, it's been a wonderful year. I know we got the Rumble going, which is so great, and I'm all discombobulated. I don't have my setup the way I normally do. But thank you all for being over there on Rumble. Please hit the like. If you can, thank you so much. I see everybody in here. I can see everybody in Rumble. Let me see if I can see it in YouTube. I think we're going good over there too. Yep, it's all straightened out. So thank you for that, because like I said, over on Rumble, we are going to be able to do some shows over there we can't do on YouTube and Facebook. Um, and I think we're going to need it, because we're going to have to talk about some crazy stuff. And I also want to be able to show you some movies. We can have a movie watch party. I'm going to try to do one this week. I got to work extra, so I'm going to try. Um, yep, it's always Christmas Eve in a ghost story. Yeah, that's great. Um, and I love you all so much. Thank you to all my mods that have been here throughout the YouTube. Throwing links down, throwing up my PayPal, throwing up all my stuff, because again, we have been demonetized on YouTube. But listen, wonderful. Thank you to all the members over there on Rumble. I think we have 3 members now, which is wonderful. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you so much. And that's helping me keep the StreamYard up. I'm trying to go through other stuff too. StreamYard doubled. And but there's just nothing out there. I don't want to go OBS. It's just so hard. Hey, Crossover, welcome in. It's the OBS. The sound is so insane. I had it before when I was doing my just my audio. So I'm trying to come up with something new. So maybe at the first of the year I'll find something different than StreamYard. But right now we're here, and that helps me so much. And I appreciate you guys so much for that. After Christmas, I'm going to go ahead and order the books so we can do that drawing where, I autograph the book for you and stuff like that. And we'll come up with different stuff too. But for now, I think that's a good one. And I need to order some more books anyway. So I'm trying to do that. And hey, thanks, Ted. So thank you for that. Anything you guys do for me as far as hitting the like, subscribing to the YouTube, getting over here in Rumble is very important. We're also going to add another one, probably, I don't know if we're going to do Twitch or DLive. I had a DLive for a while. It's mostly gamers over there, and that's fine. But unless I'm playing a game of the paranormal, I'm not going to get a lot of hits over there. So that's why we're trying to do the Rumble, and I'm working on it. Thank you for bearing with me as I get that one straightened out. It's doing fairly well. And if you see me loading up stuff over there, they've already seen what I'm trying to do is move a lot of my shows that I spent a lot of time making, like a lot of the mystery shows and things like that, trying to get over on Rumble so I have another place where they are in case my whole YouTube goes down, because I plan on saying some things that they're probably not going to like. So there's that. So that's why, and I don't want to lose you guys, so thank you for getting over there. Vix is good to see. It's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So what are we going to do? Since I just told some ghost stories, you heard some of mine, or angel stories. I found a couple. Now, I wasn't able to show you these before, and if YouTube gets shut off for showing this, then please get over there. Like I said, on Rumble, that's where we're going to be, because no telling what they're going to do tonight. But we love the ghostly encounters. And I was going through a couple of them, and I know one of them I've showed you before, but it's been a while. But it's so important because the lady, she's just got it right, and some of these other ones, there's something to learn from each one of these. And they tell the story so well because it's their story. And the first one is one that I've spoken to you guys about before. Does anybody remember when we did the Black Hope Cemetery? The Black Hope Cemetery was the story that was told about the development that was built on the cemetery in this town, and it was in, let's say, the 80s. But anyway, it actually was happening while the movie Poltergeist was actually playing in theaters. So the movie Poltergeist had just come out, was playing in theaters, and these people were actually living, a lot of the things that was going on in the Poltergeist movie. And it was all because they built it on a graveyard and did not move the graves, just the headstone. So Steve and I were kind of marveling at the fact that these people could have gone down to a local mall, gone to see a movie to escape their haunted house, and Poltergeist is playing. And a lot of people thought that the Black Hope Cemetery was the reason Poltergeist was made. No. That was based on another development that had been built on a graveyard where they just moved the headstones, and that's where they got the idea for Poltergeist, and they ran with it. So that just tell you that story to tell you this. So that's at least 3 All at the same time, developments that are haunted because they're on a graveyard. Now, disrespectful. I think this, in a lot of these cases, I don't think it's just because they didn't move the graves. I think it was the intent of the people who did it. Because here's the deal. I think we're all on some type of a graveyard. You see what I mean? I mean, how long has the earth been, right? How long has there been people? Well, I think just about everywhere you walk, you're stepping on something. Whether you're going through a massacre, something horrible happened, something happened in the household, something happened on the ground. And there's a lot of graveyards and people were buried all over the place. So why is everything going? That's a good question. I think it has something to do with the intent. I think it has something to do with the fact that, from what I understand in a lot of these cases, these people were extremely arrogant. They didn't care. They stood over these people and said the things that they said. And I think in that case, sometimes they come back angry and then maybe attack the people that are there in whatever way they choose to do it. In the case that I'm going to show you now, there is a different type of feeling here. And I think it's so neat the way these two ladies got together to speak, their neighbors, and they got together to speak about what was going on in their neighborhood and what they found. And I want you, as you're watching this story, it's about 10, the average ghost encounter, I think, is about 10 minutes or so. But within this story, look at the lady's demeanor. Look at how they're talking about it. Listen to the things they're saying about the adventures that they've had there and what other people in their neighborhood are doing. And see if you think that the way they approached the issue and the way they are now, and this is only going back about 10 years ago, has anything to do with the outcome. Because I think it has everything to do with it. And I think it's really neat. So, with your kind permission, let's watch a ghost story. Oh, it's a ghost story. No, Stormy. No. All right, here we go. I love these shows. Thank you all for being so patient. I'm sorry I was late. I just had to tell that Christmas story because I felt like there was just somebody out there that needed to hear that. And I just wanted to give them hope and that love and know that, they hear you. They hear you. So, powerful. Here we go. Sad too, isn't it? All right, here's the next one. Before we do the next one, put down for a minute. Love everything you're saying in here. First of all, I have to comment. I love a fireplace. Love a wood burning stove, but I love a fireplace. Does anybody remember? It has to be something we saw not too long ago. It was huge, almost like a walk-in fireplace. What was that movie? Was that something we watched here? It was. You know what it was? Christmas in Connecticut. Did you see that fireplace in Christmas? Oh, man. Because the guy was an architect, and that was his thing, fireplaces. You could walk into this thing. It had all the wrought iron arms that swung out to where you could hang the pots of big Dutch ovens and everything, and make the stews in the fireplace. Fabulous. All stone, beautiful. You guys remember that? That was a hell of a fireplace. And the one that was in Ted Help Me, Was it Henry VIII? Weren't we talking about the guys that would be picked to to ro- to the rotisserie chicken? The guys who had to turn the things, they got to drink 2 pitchers of beer, I think it was, a day instead of one. Everybody else got one, but they got two. Do you remember that, Ted? You were here for that, weren't you? But wow, those fireplaces were huge too. I think they're beautiful. So RP, you were talking about your dad not being able to collect wood. So here's an idea for Christmas. I don't know your family dynamic or anything like that, or who's friends with your dad or anything like. But here's a, if you could find 4 or 5 people that could put in, 10, $20, 5, 6 people, and that all love this person, and find somebody in town who can provide, I don't know how many cords of wood you need, and get them the wood and have it delivered. Get them the wood and have it delivered. It's a nice gift, and it's not hard on anybody if everybody chips in and says, look, here's, for Christmas and birthdays and everything else. And there's always a way for, that you can, work around stuff. I mean, if he doesn't have any other heat, he would absolutely have to have it. If it's just something he likes, then you don't need that much wood. But there's always an idea. I hope that works. I hope it gives somebody else an idea. But for Christmas and birthdays and things like that, it's crazy to get somebody something that they can't use. Think about this. If what they need is somebody to cut their lawn. So if you can do that, or hire somebody to do it for them, and that's what they really need, what's it hurt? Be practical, especially when you're broke. I love going and doing things for people, or trading, or using your trade to help people. Not everybody can do the things that you do, or has the ability, or the means, or the tools, or the know-how, or whatever. And if we go back to where we're helping people like that, helping each other, that it's going to make a hard time so much easier. Plus, you make it a good acquaintance and a friend. And you're also working in the whole light worker stuff, because what's better than that? You're being creative. You're helping a neighbor, or I say neighbor, but anybody. Think about it. You might not be in the means to be able to do it, but maybe somebody around him is, or somebody else that needs that kind of help. I hate thinking about anybody being cold. I despise being cold. I froze my butt off when I was in the military. I hated it. Oh gosh. So anyway, these young people are wonderful. I love their attitude. Somebody in here, Scott, was it you, that said they look too happy to be going through this? I can imagine that this isn't how they looked all the time. I think that they've gone through this a little bit, sitting back, they're kind of watching the whole neighborhood. Other people are, noping it right out of there. It's like closet doors. Too bad we got to go. One of those. They nope their butts right out. And even so much as when they went to the school to register the kids, for the next year or whatever, the principal said something about, it's like, that's got the biggest turnover in that neighborhood. What's going on over there? I think their attitude and their approach has a lot to do with their experience. I'm sure that there were times that these experiences happened to them at first, where they went running and screaming out of the house to try to figure it all out. But they sat thoughtfully through it, and they sorted it to the best of their ability, and they got information. They were lucky enough to be able to do that, and had the wherewithal to do it. And now they understand more, so they're chill with it. And not only that, but I think they flipped it to where it's not really a, ghosts aren't pets kind of thing, but they're trying to understand how the earthbound spirit, if that's what they are, they may not be, they may be coming back and forth. We don't have that knowledge yet. And they're trying to look at things from the ghost point of view. This has a lot to do, I believe, with their outcome. What say you? Think about it. Because if intent has anything to do with the success or the lack thereof of an investigation, or say a house cleansing gone wrong or something along those lines, why wouldn't a full-on haunting? Of course it would. And it also depends on the ghost, for sure. So if the Huron felt disrespected, rightfully so, I would say, wouldn't you? And it was a situation, as I mentioned in the beginning, such as the Black Hope Cemetery that we spoke of, where I personally believe it wasn't just the act of mowing everything down, building the houses and put people in it. It was the people and how it became, how it all came about. The people who bought it, the construction people, how those construction people acted on the grounds, how the conversations that were said over these bodies, such as, what are they, you can just imagine the cigar. How do I make money? They're dead. They've been, who knows? Let your imagination run wild. That has an energy and effect. So if there are some people hanging around, I would be insulted by that. I'll show you who's dead. I'll show you who's, you put a house on me. I could see that happening. So I think it's interesting to look at this case and say, obviously, their approach, their attitude, however they started, this is where they are now. And if they're having these conversations now and taking into consideration why they would be haunted by these individuals and how they must feel, even though, bless her heart, the one lady said about, well, they just can't rest. We've dug them up, so of course they can't sleep. It's just funny to hear somebody say something like that. I'm not making fun of it, but not in a bad way. I'm saying the belief of that they're sleeping and that they're in the ground, and we've disturbed them. We've made too much noise and hubbub, and we've disturbed their rest, and now they can't rest. It just sounds funny when it's said like that. When you take ghosts and the paranormal and the supernatural and everything that we believe that our theory at this point where we are now, because God, Lord knows tomorrow could be totally different, because this is constantly shifting. The bullseye is always moving. Are you with me? Are you tracking me? Do you see where I'm going with this? I think this is such an important lesson if you really, if we want to try to understand what we're doing. A lot of people, and this isn't a diss, but think about it. We've all done it. It's like, oh, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to try to, go here and investigate, or go here and to handle a problem, or I'm going to deal with what's come at me. And we try things, and we just really don't quite understand it at first. We even if our intent is good and everything else, we're not understanding the situation. We don't know what we're dealing with. Maybe it's more than we thought was going on. Maybe it's the people. Maybe it's a combination. Of course it is. Everything that is, every piece of energy has something to do with it, because it's all connected now. It's all the same spot. It's all working together. So, the drunk dad that starts a fight every night, and the tension builds up with the kids and the wife and the whoever else is in the house. And all that tension build up and all that energy is forming one big, it's not just the guy going off. That's tension, that's a build up, just like music in a movie. It builds up, somebody's about to get it. Something going down. Right? So think of it in the terms of ghosts. And we're just spitballing here. But think about it. Their house didn't burst into flame or didn't get sucked into the ground. All the other neighborhood people are going, noping it right on out of that place. Right? And I think it has something to do with their understanding, their willingness to take into consideration what's going on with the dead. Of course they would be upset. Because here's the thing. If you have a situation like that, all my listeners that have been here forever, what do I say all the time? When you have a Native American situation, the first thing you do is you apologize, you go out and have a conversation, you consider whatever their beliefs, their culture, respect that, move forward, apologize, plant a fruit tree, give back, respect, right? Boundaries. Whether you're talking about Bigfoot, anything in nature, boundaries. We all have them, even though you don't see them. You know, the red fox in your backyard, or the whatever life you have back there, knows where its boundaries are, knows where the danger starts, where it gets into the people. You know, now whether it cares or not depends on its general mood and the type of animal it is. But isn't that just like human beings? So I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think it has a huge impact and a huge lesson in, if you're serious about ghost hunting, or you're serious about understanding the situation for whatever reason, take this into consideration. I think it's a powerful story. And, you know, with all the other data we've collected from these other stories where different things have happened and much worse results, of course, depends on who, why, and how. But here's a couple of people that showed us yet again that if you take in consideration that, you know, of the dead, things go a little smooth. And this isn't such a situation where you just have one house with a ghost, that ghost needs to move on, or needs to move out, or needs to quit doing whatever it's doing, or, you know, that needs to be sorted. Whereas here you have a larger group, and you have to wonder, well, we know it's not because they got rattled, woke up. You know, we say disturbed because it's somehow the word disturbed sounds a little less like we made too much noise and woke them up, or we disrespected, we walked on the grave, we did whatever. It makes it sound better. But we know they're not there. Now, did they cross over and things got disturbed, like in a renovation? Like, you know, when we're rebuilding a house. Are they there and we woke them up by making noise? Or they might have been there, the ghost might have been in the house, and it just decided to poke its head out and go, what are you doing? And you started ripping wallpaper off. That could be true. But it's not because we made too much noise. I think it's the attitude. I think it's the disrespect. I think it's the tossing away of a human life. I think that reacts to it. I think that's what does it, because when you have that kind of energy walk into a house, it can, quote unquote, wake something up, disturb it, to where now it's going to show itself, even though it was there all the time. And then you have the ones that, say at Eric from Unseen Paranormal's case at the Night House, they knew that she actually kind of led him there, but she's not stuck there. They're showing up because things that they care about are being paid attention to, and it's very cool. But in these two ladies, their case with the Huron, it's respect. I think that makes the difference. What say you? Now I can focus and read some of these. Who's driving into the sea, Ted? Who told them to? What's going on? Oh, GPS. You know what? I've heard that, Ted. You're absolutely right. Well, hanging fruit. You know, I've seen people looking at their phones falling into a subway, you know, or stairwell or whatever, into fountains. Have y'all seen that? They're walking through the mall and it's face plant to a water fountain. It's some quarters. What are you down there? That's what. If you ever see anybody do that, yell that out to security. She's taking quarters out of the fountain. Start a ruckus. Get started. People need to wake up. People need to wake up. But those things are designed to get you caught up. Guilty. I've been in there. Many people have gotten stuck in that where whoa, how long have I been in here? Some powerful stuff. People have been working on this stuff a long time. I'm telling you. So back to the ghost. I think I'm lying. I wish I was. So I think it's interesting. I think we can learn a lot from that. And taken as a whole, just the story standing on itself would teach us a lot. Because how many stories we heard with Bigfoot? It's in Cabin 22. Boundaries. Here's mine, here's yours. Respect. Have an apple pie. Maybe you'll get a nice rock or something else. Never know. We've all heard about the Gibbon rock. Think about it. And multiple cases, not my own, I've dealt with it some, but not as much as you think with this type of thing, where it would be a Native American on a soil upset, causing a ruckus, right? My number one thing to tell them at first, find the local tribe, find out who, get your shaman, get your chief, get your holy man, a holy woman, healer, get them in there. Just like you would any place else. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like in Civil War, Mark Nesbitt's come in here and said, when you put on the uniform, reenactors think, right? And it's anything you can do to appease and let them know that you understand. You're getting them, you're feeling them, you're relating to them. A little respect. But think about how hard we try to do this with the dead. And it's hard to do with the living. We're all dealing with it. Especially light workers. They're pushing all our buttons. They want us to quit, shut down, and hit our knees. Well, let me tell you something. That's where you start, brother. You're going to have a hard time, knocking us down. But that's how you galvanize your armor. That's how, you get armor in the first place. Right? Going through the hard stuff. But I think these Huron, I don't think they're stuck. I don't think they got woke up. I think they were brought back. And some of it is probably residual as well. Or time warp or whatever. Time bleed. The thinning of the veil and all that kind of stuff. But I think these ladies took the right approach. So it's a cool story. So there's that's a powerful tool to put in the toolbox, in your paranormal toolbox. And you think about it and go, man, could I keep my composure? Could I sort this out? Could I go in like the far end of the property and give some ceremony that had a little, had the culture in it and respect? And if so, you could get, like I said, the local tribe if they're available. Most will. Go through the library. If you can't get help down in the city, go to the library. They'll know. The historical society will know. And always get back to the nature too. So plant a fruit tree that gives back, and that belongs to them. And it's just a symbolic gesture, respect and honor. And wouldn't you want that? Think about everything everybody's gone through. Everybody's gone through something. For Pete's sake, they are dead. God bless them. So, again, cool. And I don't care what culture you're in or what ritual there is. It's respect, and it's what that individual connects to. And I think that's going to have the most power, and I think that's going to have the best result, if that makes sense. This is something. Not a Glenn. I miss Glenn. God bless you, Glenn. Maybe he's thinking of us right now. We love you, Glenn. Merry Christmas, Glenn. We miss you, you cheeky monkey. How you doing, Pros? You doing okay? What you got, babe? I leave tobacco and whiskey on every trek I do through the church. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Yes, absolutely. Give back. People ask, what are you doing? Give it back. Give it back. They know. It seems so simple to outside people. I think that's one of the saddest things looking back through history and some of the horrible wars and massacres and just terrible things that have happened, all due to a misunderstanding. Here's a quick example of what I'm talking about. Watching this one show, I don't know, it's a miniseries, movie, whatever. So a lot of different people came to claim the new lands. This is like, back in the day, or, the new frontier in the West. And everybody's getting chunks of land. Everybody that's gotten to that point is usually an immigrant. So we got people from Russia, we got people from all over the place. Everybody's trying to get out to the West and hack it out of the wilderness and build themselves something. So they're out there, and it just seems amazing to think about it now. But like all this, like family will be on like 50 acres, 100 acres, 200 acres, 500 acres, and they're throwing out acreage like crazy, right? So there's few and far between. So of course you've got all kinds of different tribes coming through, and they happen to be on a river. So everybody uses this river. Everybody's been using this river since way before these people got here, right? So they have their culture and the way that they come up and feed their, let their horses drink and all this other stuff. And then you've got these people that all they speak is like, say, German. And then you've got the people that are trying to help them that might speak a little of the native and understand a little of the tradition, a little broken German, and this guy's speaking a little broken whatever this guy's talking. So it sounds crazy, but it's this round robin of absolute confusion and psychobabble, okay? This guy's getting upset because his wife thinks that because they're dipping these bags that they've never seen before in the water, that they're poisoning the water source. And she starts panicking because the baby needs the water, blah, 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 blah. The panic goes through the crowd. This guy's trying to explain what's going on. No. They're just, because they're sprinkling tobacco, they're blessing the water with tobacco. And they're saying thank you, and they're putting it back. So this lady thinks they're poisoning the water. Push comes to shove. Native Americans are dead. The horses are dead. Somebody else in the family has got an arrow in their gut. I don't know, whatever. But the whole thing is due to a misunderstanding and not being able to communicate, and the panic of not understanding another one's culture and not understanding and being able to patience their way through that. It's really something we should have learned by now. And I say all that because now you think about who you're dealing with. If you're a medium, or you're cleansing houses, you're trying to bless a home, or something else, you come across this situation. And I think it does mean a lot. I think it works a lot in the living and for the dead to take the extra care in understanding who you're communicating with, or maybe communicating with. I think that's very important. And the most you can learn about that, what say you? What do you think, chat? I think that's a good story. What do y'all do? What are y'all doing? Hey, Marie, welcome in. Who's nosy minx, Ted? Cat, are you having a cat fight? Ted, the cat. She's going to beat you. Steady. It's going to get out the, Yep, never mind. I'll shut up. It's 4 hours. Okay, I think I'm caught up. All right, let's do another one. We got time for another one. What's everybody doing? Are y'all busy as me, running around crazy trying to get everything done? I'm just working, paying my bills, do everything last minute. I put out my little Christmas mouse out in the front yard with my son's help. His lights were out, oh, the horror. When you just don't even, it's so cold. I got drones over my head. I got these orb crazy things. I got nutty people in charge tell me they don't know what it is, but you don't need to worry about it. And I'm like, I trust that about as much as I trust the people that told me 2 planes took out 3 buildings. So you know the story. Anyhow, and I don't understand why people are looking to those people to go, tell us what's going on. I'm like, what if they ever told you the truth? Why would you believe them now? I mean, think about it. It's crazy how people shift like that. It's like, you've been lying to us all this time. Literally everything you said has been a lie. You never told us the truth. You're trying to kill us. You put shit in here and shit over. We can prove it over and over and over and over and over again. Astonishing amounts. Okay, and then all of a sudden something happens. Everybody just tell us what's going on. It's a large, blobbish head with a lot of mouths, no brain, and big pockets that never seem to fill. That blob does not care about you. You care about you. We care about you. We care about each other to be humans. Research for yourself. Sort it yourself. And then you can stand there and you can tell the blob, not only do I know you're lying, but here's what's really going on. And how come you don't know it? You know what I'm saying? Crazy. Crazy. Humanity's nuts. I got nothing but faith in it, but we got some warts, babe. And here we are sitting here trying so hard to figure out, God bless us, how to save the ones that are already gone and just stuck here, like Marley in his chains. It just breaks my heart because I know so many. Isn't that nuts? It's crazy. And here we are at Christmas. And, I just got done an hour telling about all these miracles that have happened in my life. And I'm sure you guys have had miracles happen in your life, And if you haven't, look back. Maybe overlooked one. Maybe, you know what I mean? Because the little ones mean a lot too. And it's just what constitutes a miracle. Well, I think everything shifts us. It's like we're in this big pinball machine. What do they call those? Not the paddle, the bumpers and all that, the lights and the tilt. A lot of us are stuck on tilt. But you come down, you roll for a while, and everything's fine. Everything's down here, all of a sudden, bam, and knocks you over here, and you're doing that for a while. Bing, 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 bing. Oh my God, and you get stuck, and you get, all banging around inside of those little bumpers and stuff, and you're stuck, and then roll down for a while. So, whoa, it's over, everything's good. No, here we go again. That's how I feel sometimes. I think we all feel like that sometimes. But then, what if my God, all that, and then you're stuck here as a ghost, and Marley's coming in, and all these people. Listen, Charles Dickens, I don't know if he talked to people that had seen a lot of ghosts. I don't know if he did a lot of thinking in that boot, black factory as a kid, that he had a lot of time to think. It was a fantastic imagination, but there's knowledge in there, What else was going on with him, with the ghosts? Because he knew. That was 100% correct. As far as my knowledge, it's not just something that people passed on from that book. We have ghosts that come back and tell us the same thing. I should have emptied my pockets before I went over because I still got all this stuff I got to get off. And I have to work through it, understand it, let it go. And I'm trying to do that now, let a bunch of stuff go. And I highly recommend you do it. Because what do we say on this show all the time? It's like your life is like doing a baggage claim in the airport. Very busy airport. And you have all this baggage. You can claim it all. It's yours. What are you going to do? Deal with it, open it, sort it, keep what you need, throw out the rest, get it in a nice little carry-on, and roll that bitch around, and then sort that. Because that's the stuff that's holding ghosts here. Earthly bound. There are earthly bonds. It's not just unfinished business. It's unrealized dreams. It's things you regret not doing as well as doing. It's harboring any low vibrational energy. And I know that sounds strange, but it's true. Some of these ghosts just hang on to one thing, and that's enough to tether, in their case. I'm not saying it would be yours. And what do we keep our light on? Why do we keep the lights on? So we never get We never lose sight of it because some of them did. And you have to put that back in. Hey, darling. Hey, Woo, what's going on, Derek? Derek, you got to come on the show and talk about these daggum orbs and drones and things. Derek is a great channel over on YouTube. Are you anywhere else? Drop your links, Derek. He's got a lot. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's got a lot of good footage of the drones and the orbs and some. It's a great channel. Get over there and subscribe to him. But anyway, I'd love for you to come on because I've been finding out some good stuff. I'd love to get your feedback on. But anyway, let's watch it. I'm going to shut up and we'll watch another. Now this one, which one is some dude? I don't remember which one this is. Let's see. These are good. We'll watch some of these with Steve tomorrow night too. Here we go.
I've always been the type of person who has an attitude of...
Okay. I got to tell you. This one I tried to show you once before. Something happened. It got cut off, whatever. So, trying again. And I love this one because to me this one is a great visual about, okay, what if you're kind of, you're more of a recluse and you're by yourself and